Hello everyone, and welcome back to another Mirror Dungeon solo video. Today we'll be using the equivalent of your 5th grade art professor, Ring Otis. Being released alongside her big brother Yi Song, she has had quite the history, including being one of the most broken identities in the game. Unfortunately though, that got patched really quickly, so she is no longer completely busted in the Mirror Dungeon and is now just a pure bleed identity. She is easily one of the best bleed identities one can have, and this is thanks exclusively to her skill 2. It is her only source of bleed count, and in a similar vein to Ring Yi's song, she can reuse its coin twice, turning it into a 4-coin skill with a maximum of 5 bleed count. As long as she gets the maximum reroll, which is made more likely with the more status effects on the target, she has some of the best bleed count application out of any identity. While that is her main purpose, she's also not entirely relegated to only just that. Her skill 3 provides a bit of general support, applying haste and pierce damage to other allies if she staggers or defeats an enemy. And while that conditional is hardly what I would consider to be consistent, it does give her extra value more than just a designated bleed count applier. Now with all that said, Otis has more than one viable bleed identity, and that begs the question, which is better, the Ring or the Barber? Now in my opinion, I don't believe one is inherently stronger than the other, at least in terms of bleed support that is. And this is because both of them serve distinctly different roles when it comes to a bleed team. As mentioned previously, the Ring focuses primarily on bleed count, while the Barber mostly supports potency. Neither of them can accurately be compared to one another, and because of this, whether or not one is stronger than the other is not dependent on their own strength, but rather the rest of your team composition. If you have a severe lack of count, then the Ring will obviously be superior, but if potency is what you're missing, then the Barber will serve you better. Anyway, to start the run off, we take these starter buffs and pick up these ego gifts along the first floor of the Forgotten before making it to the boss against G-Corp. These bugs are pretty simple to deal with. Only the general does fatal damage to us, and as such we can easily survive every other attack they throw at us. With a little bit of luck from our rerolls, we can defeat them easily with only a few attacks. We take Rusted Muzzle and Employee card for our reward and head into Emotional Flood for the next floor. Here we find Painkillers and buy Phlebotomy Pack and Bloody Gadget before making it to the boss against KQE. This isn't even a fight. This is punching a hole through your computer when it decides it's given up on life and refuses to turn on. Hashtag buff KQE. My boy desperately needs some love.
좋아, 얼른 끝내고 밥 먹으러 가자고.
일리 있는 의견 그걸로 하지. 나쁘지 않아.
칼날이 잘 드네요. 아마 그 공격이 약점이었겠죠?
밑그림은 완성. 빠르게 치라.
제 앞에 제 상태가 좋지 않습니다. 제대로 된 일격만
일리 있는
하면
의견
효율적인 효과를 이끌어낼 수 있겠죠.
부위가 조각났어. 계속해도 돼. 승객들, 저거 깨트렸어. 변상할 필요는 없으니까 계속해도 돼.
일리 있는 의견 그걸로 하지. 나쁘지 않아.
이런 건 몽둥이가 약이지. 그릇 두드려 패.
일리 있는 의견 그걸로 하지.
We take Tangled Bundle and First Aid Kit for our reward and head into Trickled Sanguine Blood for the next floor. Here we buy Phantom Pain, Respite, and Illusory Hunt before making it to the boss against the Headless Ichthys. Of the 3 potential bosses on this floor, this one is probably the hardest as it does fatal damage. By using binds on the first turn, we can become slightly resistant to its attacks, enough so that with a little luck we can survive quite easily without getting staggered. We use it again on the second turn for a Greycoat healing and a guaranteed clash win, and with a little bit more luck we can avoid the attack power down the fish loves to inflict. With that we can pretty much clash with everything and can end up painting the fish's blood sac red again.
가서 할 수 있는 건 다 해보고 오라고.
일리 있는 의견 그걸로 하지. 지겹. 이 몸 직접 손봐야겠는데.
승객이 딱콩 한 방 먹였어. 늦으면 내피랑 먼저 갈 거야.
일리 있는 의견. 그걸로 하지. 밑그림은 완성.
훌륭하고
빠르게 치라도.
이외에 특별히
밑그림은
첨언할
완성.
이유도
빠르게 치라도.
직전의 공격처럼
일리 있는 의견. 그걸로 하지. 나쁘지 않고.
저희 직원들이 개체의 부위를 파괴했어요. 역시
그림을
미리미리
완성.
잘했죠?
끝낸 것
빠르게
같아.
치라도.
그럼
일리는
다음
의견.
손질로 바로 가시오.
그걸로 하지. 나쁘지 않고.
올바른 방법으로 개체에게 일격을 가했다.
작품
이것이
완성.
바로 정보의
돌아가면
힘입니다.
의견을 나누지.
We take imposed weight and coffee and cranes for a reward before heading into Miracle in District 20 for the next floor.
예술을 하면
Here we accidentally turn Otis into a gift, and buy awe as well as an extra skill too before making it to the boss. This fight is incredibly easy, so I decide to make it more difficult by starting the fight with binds, making us quadruple fatal to most of the gnome's attacks. This staggers us on the first turn, but literally doesn't matter in the slightest. Ring Otis absolutely obliterates the gnomes by being one of the most jolly sinners with her Christmas-colored skills. She legitimately gets through this fight in half the time it normally takes, making it an incredibly fast, long fight.
조심하셔야 해요. 정신이나 몸이 다친 동료들을 어떻게 바뀔지 모르니까요. 어이시오.
일리 있는 의견. 그걸로
자!
하지.
아직 끝을 모르는 법이네!
훌륭하고 이외에 특별히 첨언할 이유도 없군.
밑그림은 완성. 빠르게 치라도.
완벽한 한방. 시원한걸?
일리 있는 의견. 그걸로 하지. 작품 완성. 돌아가면 의견을 나누지. 작품 완성. 돌아가면 의견을 나누지.
방금 어떻게 하신 거죠? 깜짝 놀랐어요.
일리 있는 의견. 그걸로 하지. 나쁘지 않아.
연장 솜씨가 현란하죠. 선물 만들고 도구 연습만 하는 것이오.
밑그림은 완성. 빠르게 치라도.
예스럽지가 않은데? 아주 작사를 내놨어.
밑그림은 완성. 작품 완성. 돌아가면 의견을 나누지. 돌아가면 의견을 나누지.
하나 눕혔네. 이렇게
일리 있는 의견. 그걸로 하지. 나쁘지 않아.
승객이 딱콩 한 방 먹였어.
밑그림은 완성. 빠르게 작품 완성. 돌아가면 의견을 나누지.
We take a duplicate and endorphin kit as our reward, while also receiving rusted cutting knife as a bonus before heading into Tangling Lust for the next floor. Here we fuse the Jolly Plushie and the Red Stain Gossipium before making it to the boss against the Fairy Longlegs. I should have chosen Refraction Railway Line 4 to get a more interesting final boss, but I just really wanted to fight the Barber. Unfortunately, the game didn't have the same idea, and thus gave me this piece of work instead. Oh well, what can you do? Start a whole new run and try again? I would, but this is actually my third attempt at this run, and I just want it over with at this point. Anyway, to try and squeeze out as much challenge as possible out of this guy, I chose to remain fatal to lost damage and can easily take him down without ever getting staggered.
일리 있는 의견. 그걸로 하지.
자, 동료들이여! 자세를 갖추고 저들을 맞이하세! 우리를 가로막는 저 시련을 해치우고
그걸로 하지.
끝나지 않는 모험을 향하여!
밑그림은 완성.
부위 하나가 끊어졌네요. 이제 좀 수월해지겠어요. 승객들, 저거 깨뜨렸어.
일리 있는 의견. 그걸로 하지. 나쁘지 않아.
연장 솜씨가 깔라라쥬. 그걸 만들고 도구 연습만 하는 거죠?
돌아가면 의견을 나누지. A+. 예술적인 전투였다.
And that's how I beat Mirror Dungeon 5 hard using only Ring Otis. She is fairly powerful with her reusable coin. Her best and pretty much only use is to build bleed count, and she is damn good at it. Obviously though, she pales in comparison to her big brother, but still she's a good bleed unit nonetheless. Anyway, that's it from me. Like and subscribe to not miss next time where we'll be using this character. Goodbye.